Once there was a family called the Dibbles, and there was one thing they could never do. They could never make up their minds about anything. Now the latest arrival to the dithering Dibble house was a beautiful baby boy. Good, a decision, finally. At least someone was making a decision in the Dibble family. Oh no, here we go again. They'll never decide on a name in time. The Dibbles had a big problem. They had a wonderful baby, but they couldn't decide on a name. Oh dear, on the day of the naming party, they still hadn't found a name for the baby. Finally, they named the baby. Daryl, Donald, Derek, Dexter, David, Dougal, Dibble. Wow. Hey, I've just decided something. Let's go over there for a song. Easy! This is a story about Molly the mouse. Molly lived with her two brothers and their grandma in a lovely mouse house. Now it is well known that mice like cheese. Now Molly had all the ingredients ready, biscuits and cheese, and was just about to start preparing when her little brothers came in to help. But Molly's little brothers were determined to eat as much cheese as they could. Just then, their grandma started to wake up. Grandma Mouse had a wonderful afternoon tea. She nibbled that smelly old cheese until it was all gone. Oh, and that's the end of a very cheesy tale. Come on, guys, stop nibbling and let's go shake our tails. There once were 3 robots in a toy factory. Every day they worked hard building little toy boats, which they were very proud of. So robot 1, 2 and 3 set off to see the sea. They got dressed in some really cool beach gear, grabbed some beach toys and set out on their adventure. But now they were at the sea, the robots decided to play a game. Now the robots were having such terrific fun that they got another idea. So our robots stayed by the sea so they could be near the water. But what could 3 robots do by the sea? Oh, can I have one too? That's a delicious end to a story. Come on, let's walk over there for a song. It was a cold and windy day in the Arctic. Perfect weather for penguins. Ivan, Natasha and Boris were black and white penguins, and they loved playing in the ice and snow. Just then, along came Sigrid the scientist. Sigrid the scientist was really interested in penguins. She had come to the Arctic to look for a very rare, special kind of penguin. Now, Natasha, Ivan and Boris were very playful penguins, and they decided to play a very silly joke on Sigrid the scientist. While she wasn't looking, the penguins rolled around in the snow. They rolled around until they weren't black and white anymore. They were covered in white snow from head to toe. Finally, Sigrid noticed the penguins and she was very excited. The penguins were pretty pleased with their joke, but just then, the sun came out. And sure enough, the snow that the penguins had covered themselves in was melting away. Sigrid was sad. The black and white penguins were feeling sorry about the joke they'd played, so they went over to Sigrid and Sigrid was thrilled to have met such rare talking penguins. They talked and they talked. In fact, the penguins and Sigrid didn't stop talking for a long, long time, and by then they were the best of friends. Hey guys, enough talking, let's start singing! This is a very hairy story. It's about a bunch of amazing people called the Hairykins. The Hairykins loved everything to be hairy, even the grass in their garden. Yes, they were very happy Hairykins. Well, mostly. You see, there was one person who wasn't feeling quite so happy. Harry Hairy was the youngest in the family, but unlike the other Hairykins, he had
short hair.
Harry had tried and tried to make his hair grow longer. Oh, but nothing worked. So Harry brushed his hair with the hairy tree branch every morning. But Harry's hair stayed short. It didn't grow an inch. So he went to his mum for a bit of Hairykin advice. Harry followed his mum's advice. Every day he ate bowls and bowls of hairy spaghetti. Then one night, just before he went to bed, Harry checked to see how much his hair had grown. The next morning, Harry's hairy sister Hannah bounced in to wake him up. Harry's crazy hairdo was a real hit with all the Harrykins. Oh, and soon everybody was wearing a Harry hairdo. And that's the long and the short of it. Well, time to cut this off now and do a little more dancing. Come on, you hairy bud. It was time for the magical dress-up party, and everyone was really excited. They were all dressed up as their favourite magical creature. Suddenly, Kathleen realised that she couldn't see Kelly anywhere. Just then, Tim the leprechaun had a thought. So they looked high and low, but nobody found any magic, until Nathan came across something very peculiar. So Nathan hid in the magic invisible spot while the other guys kept searching. Then Kelly noticed that Nathan was missing. When Tim came back in, he heard Kelly laughing and went to see where she was. Just as Tim disappeared, Kathleen walked in.
Okay, who wants to be invisible again?
Yeah! Everyone stayed for hours and hours, playing games and making themselves invisible. It was the best party ever. Well, it's time for a song. Come on, guys, now you see us, now you don't. It was a beautiful night. The sky was filled with twinkling stars, and Bert was busy as usual. Bert's next cosmic cleaning job was a very important one. He was cleaning the moon. Bert knew that he had to get the moon clean before night. Then he had a great idea. They weren't kidding. Those dazzling stars were good entertainers. The moon had enjoyed the star show so much that she hadn't even noticed Bert at work. Now she was clean and shining. That night, the whole sky glittered and shone brighter than ever, thanks to Bert, cosmic cleaner to the stars. Well, I feel like doing a bit of shining myself over there. Come on! There once was a very good doctor, and his name was Dr. Well. It was going to be a busy day for Dr. Well. Lots of patients to see. Oh, first up was Mr. Neeps. The last patient for the day was Miss Fop. After a long day, Dr. Well was ready to go home. Oh, at least he hasn't got the croaks. Oh dear. Luckily, Dr. Well knew just what to do for the leaps and the wobbles and the croaks. And soon he was all better. And that's the end of a very silly story. Let's leap over there for a song. It was the first day at school at the bottom of the sea, and the teacher, Mrs. Eel, was taking the roll call. So off they swam, down, down, down to the bottom of the sea. Watch out, little seahorse, that seaweed can be tricky. Cindy had found a sunken treasure chest. Oh, I wonder what precious things are inside. Underpants! They'd never seen underpants before. Back in class, Mrs. Eel examined the strange objects. Well, school's over for the day. I feel like having fun in our Hi-5 playground. Come on!
Swimming with the